Hi, this is Dr. Tim and welcome to one of my videos. Now, I'm going to talk to you about this, the Carestream 9600. It's an OPG CBCT combined machine and I'm thinking about buying one. And you might be thinking, Dr. Tim, you are crazy. Why would you be buying a CBCT machine right now in the early 2020s when there's COVID-19, our production's almost zero, and you're going to spend all this money? And so that's what I want to talk to you about, my reasons why and why I wanted to look at investing in this kind of machinery. So let's go on a journey to figure out how this brain works, why I want to get this machine in particular, and why I think this might be the way to go. So I'm thinking the real reason behind why I want this machine is I've been looking for an OPG CBCT machine for a while. Now, I really want the OPG factor. The CBCT is a nice to have, but my thing is if I could make the OPG part work for the practice, then having the CBCT is going to be just an added benefit. And there's a few ways for that. It's going to save my patients, number one. Especially during this time, my thinking is that patients aren't going to want to travel to other places like radiographic centers, radiology clinics to get x-rays done. They're just not going to want to because there's a lot more turnover of patients and they don't screen patients like high-end dental practices like ours do. There's no temperature scannings, I'm not sure if they ask questions all the time, and some radiology clinics are actually closed in general. So I want to keep things as in-house as we can because the world has changed. Where it used to be okay to distribute things to other places, people now want to keep everything together. People are scared, and I want to cater to people that want really high-quality dental care, but they don't want to go out to other places. So that's why I'm thinking having something in-house is probably a really good thing, number one. Number two, why the actual Carestream 9600 out of all the other machines? Now the big factor was, it's pretty much idiot-proof. I can run it really easy. I don't need a PhD in computer sciences to make this thing run. It's like a startup wizard. You kind of click a button, hit next, click another button, hit next, pick the size of the patient, the field of view. You can actually move the icon around to where you want the radiograph to be taken. And so it's going to be really easy to get that done. It's also got some extra features that make it like really good for just OPGs. Like back in the old days, I used to use a hard tissue laser. And I found a hard tissue laser was the best soft tissue laser I've ever used. And this is kind of what I was looking at with this as well. This machine is going to be one of the best OPG machines that you can get because it does a pre-scan before it takes the OPG, so you can like map the curvature of someone's mandible and maxilla and take the perfect OPG. It also has the ability to take really low dose CBCTs as well. I hear it's like the radiation dose of an OPG to take a CBCT, which, to be honest, I couldn't really tell a difference. It was a little bit grainier, but if I wanted like broad strokes information, it was really good. Now, real talk time. Now, real talk time means money talk time. So most of you are probably asking, why would I be spending a lot of money in this kind of economy? When the economy's down, the stock market's down, and our production is close to zero. What makes me want to spend all this money right now? And that really comes down to how long you believe we're going to be in this kind of economy for. Is it that we're fundamentally in a flawed economical state, or is it just because there's a pandemic going on and soon we're going to come back and out of this very rapidly? And I believe the latter. I think we're going to come back quite rapidly, and I want to get ourselves prepared for when we're back. Now there's three things that really make me think this is the time to buy. One is the government tax write-off of $150,000. Now this machine isn't $150,000, but you can write off up to that much straight away like that. No 5 years depreciation. Right now you can get your money back on your tax return for that machine. Secondly, there's really low interest rates. So when the economy goes down, interest rates become low, so it becomes cheaper to borrow money. And so you can borrow money without having to pay too much interest in it, which is amazing as well. And there's some companies, I think BOQ, and I'll have to call them to find out, but I think they might have 0 interest and 12 months no repayment loans right now, which makes it almost like a no-brainer to get it right now. And thirdly, the repayments are actually very easy to do. They're about $450 to $500 a week, and that's only a few OPGs and maybe a CBCT, and that's so doable. I mean, especially now when it's in stage 3 and it's emergencies only, OPGs are probably a really good way of getting the information that you need without actually going into someone's mouth. And so I think it's a great way to keep my staff safe, my patients safe, and to give them the quality of care that they need in this kind of time. And in order to help my clinicians and my patients more, I found that there's some features of this machine that I didn't even know about, which is like extra bonus to have. Like when I bought my car, I didn't know it had a seat warmer. And when I found that button, I pushed it and it was nice and cozy. It was a great thing to find. And that's what I found about this machine too. It can take PAs and bite wings really easily and with low radiation as well. So what that means is that if you have patients that are gaggers, or you find it really hard to take, or you're doing an endo and you want to take an image of a particular tooth while you still have rubber dam on, piece of cake. You set it up, you put the field of view where you want to with the touch screen, you hit go, and you've got the image. That in itself is that extra seat warmer feature that makes it just feel good. So one of the other things is just how easy the software is to use. And like I said before, I think even I can use it. And I've had about 5 minutes worth of training, so let's see how I do. So you can do this on the machine and the touch screen as well, but I thought, let's just see how the software works. So you've got 4 options here. You can do PAs, bite wings, you can take images for oral surgery or implants, you can do the TMJs, or you can do the full area that it does as well. So if I want to take a bite wing, click on that, click on the size that I want it to be. Let's take like a double bite wing PA, whereabouts I want it to be taken. If I want to do a scout first, and then the radiation dosage as well. So apparently the low dosage is all you need unless you're doing endo. So you click that, and then you go outside the room and click the button. So as easy as that. Let's say I want to do some implants. I take that, figure out how big a field I want. Maybe I just want to do an upper implant, and then want a bit more radiation, scout view, say it's a larger person, and then go outside and click the button as well. So it makes it really simple to use. TMJs, I want to take some images of TMJs, but they're a small person. Again, scout view, maybe they're smaller, low dosage, and hit the button again. No PhD in computer science required. So this is the camera where you can see how you can align on my face. There's a little touch screen there, so you can move it around to exactly where it needs to be and take that image. This is what makes it so easy. The camera also allows you to do a 3D facial scan as well, like a texture skin of them. So if you're going to do DSD designs, you can actually overlay a digital 3D image of their face over their 3D digital scan as well. So you can mock up their face digitally without having to do anything else. It's crazy. It's really amazing. Again, one of these extra features I didn't know it had, but it does. One question that you might be asking is, why would you want to take an OPG when your patients can go to a radiography clinic and get it bulk billed and no extra charge to them? Well, there's a two-pronged answer to that. One is your time as a clinician. If you have to send the patient away, you have to tell them about the issue, send them away, get the information, come back, review that information again, and then give them the outcome. So you might be charging me again for a second consultation. If that's the case, I'm not sure if there's much of a difference, because health funds will pay a little bit back on OPGs. The second thing is, it's the patient's time as well. For an extra $40 or $50, maybe the patient wants the answer right here, right now, rather than going away somewhere else, getting it, coming back, and then getting more information and more time waiting again for you. So there's a time of yours and the patient's time, and maybe your time is worth more than the less than $100 it's going to cost them to get this information for you to make a diagnosis for their benefit. Now, for CBCTs, it's usually costs somewhere between $200 to $400 at a radiography clinic to get it done. I'd be thinking of charging the lower end of that, somewhere between $200 to $300 for us. So it keeps it economic for the patient, and yet we have the information to help diagnose what they need and give them the treatment that they want as well. People have asked me, why would I choose Mordent to buy this machine? And it's because of my past history with them. They looked after me really well when I started my MIS implant system, and my feeling is they're going to help me with this machine as well. Because the last thing we want is to pick a company that has great sales, but has horrible after-sales support. And I found that with some of the other companies I've used in the past, and I've hated the experience. But with Mordent, I found that their ethos is very similar to mine, where they're all about customer service and customer care and long-term relationships. And I found that when your ethos matches, you tend to have a really good experience with them. And the other thing is they're responsive. When I've called my Mordent rep before, they're usually back to me within 5 minutes, and I find that really refreshing, where I'm not having to wait like a day or two for a response, then I email them back and then they take another day or two and it takes forever. So it's not a cheap machine, but I think it's going to add value to the practice. So when I need stuff done to it, I want to get it done fast. And if I need help with it, I wanted to get help fast with it. And that's why I'm thinking Mordent might be the people that I need to use. So there you have it. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to buy a machine because it's going to cost me not much to borrow money on it. I can get a huge tax write-off instantly this year, and the repayments on it can be delayed by 12 months, but it's also not going to be all that much either. It's going to help my clinicians get more information so they can help their patients out more. It's going to help my patients because they're going to be able to get radiographs that are gag-free and give their dentist information so they can give them the best possible treatment that they can. It's a bad economy. We know that. But you can either look at it and be negative and be like, we're never going to get out of this, it's going to be horrible. Or you can look at it and you can be like, you know what, there's going to be a light at the end of this tunnel and we're going to do what we can to keep our business going and we're going to make it better. Because there's a chance that through all this, that those that are well prepared are going to come out the other side even more successful than when they were on the other side. So leave a comment down below. Am I crazy? Should I not be buying this? Or do you reckon my theory's good? Should I be getting this machine? This is Dr. Tiv, over and out.